Hello everyone, I am Sonal Palpande. Today we'll see different types of data structure in R. Find the few of the data types are logical where we have true and false. We have numeric data type where we can have 11 or we can have 10.5 float. Everything is in the numeric. If we are specific about the integer, then we have to specify using 11L and a complex data type. Other than that, what we have is a vector. A vector is a collection of the element which is which contain the same type of data type together. So here we have if I want to create a vector, then it is like as as it will be holding many data variables together, it is something like this. So this is a vector. Now if I want to print this, print, I can write a. So this is how it has been created. Now if I want to run this and see, here you can see in the environment variable a has been created with the value 1, 2 and 3. Here you can see it is holding a same type of data types. That is, it can hold all the integers. If you want, it can hold all the strings. Other than that, we have another data type that is called as a list. A list is a special type of, we can say it's a type of a vector in which each element can be of a different type. Whereas in the vector, each element has to be of the same type. Whereas in the list, when we talk about the list, it can be of a different data type. Elements can be of different type. So let's see an example of a list. If I want to create a list, say list 1, this is a assign symbol. So what I'll do is I want to create a list. So the keyword is list. Here the first element will be I want a vector. So 2 comma 3 comma 4. Another thing which I want is say some number, and another thing I just want some name. So this is how it can be created. Fine, and run. If I run it, fine. So this is how the list is created. Now if I want to print it, so I have to say print list 1. Here you can see it has been printed. Fine. So we have seen vector, we have seen the list. Another thing that we can see is an array. Array, we can create a vector in such a way. Fine. Here, see if I want to create an array, say 1, keyword is array that you have to use. Array is again a collection of a similar type of a data type. You can use single quotes or you can use double quotes. Here we are mentioning the dimension, that is equals to C 3 by 2 matrix will be repeated twice. execute it. Here you can see the array has been created. Fine, it has A and B, A and B, A and B, A and B. We have created it of 3 by 3 using that thing, and it has been repeated twice. Now let's print the array. So it's print ARR1. Right? Let's execute it. See, here you can see with the value A and B, fine, it has created 3 by 3 matrix. That is 3 by 3 matrix, and it has to be repeated twice. So that is this twice. Fine. So this is how a array can be created. Another data structure that we can see is a matrix. See, everything in R is an object. Matrix is also an object. Here the elements are arranged in two-dimensional rectangular layout. So if I want to create a matrix, say M, here the keyword will be matrix. What I want to do is when these are the elements, what I want to do is more will be needed. Okay. What I want to do is I will be arranging them row wise. So n row equals to 2, taking it 2 rows, and n column and col equals to 3. So it will be having a 3 columns, and you have to arrange this value row wise. So make it true. Make it true. Fine. So this is how it has been created. Let's run this. You can see the M has been created. Now if I want to print M, print M, so this is how it will be printed. A, B, C, D, E, F. These are the elements. These are elements which are being considered for the matrices. Fine, we are creating 2 rows and 3 columns, and they are being arranged row wise. So up till now, we have seen the different types of data structure which can be used in the R. First one is a vector. Then we saw vector will be holding all the elements of the same type. List can hold the elements of the different type. Then we have seen the array, and last one is the matrices. Now we will see how to take a multiple vector and then we can create a data frame from it. So let's first create the vector and then we can create the data frame out of it. Fine. So our first vector is, say we are having 1, 2 and 3. This is my first vector. Another vector is, say, let's have 11, 12 and 13. Fine. So these are the two vectors. Fine. Using these vectors, I have to create a data frame. say name is that df1. Fine, we are using this. So again, data dot frame has to be used, and what all you are using is you are going to use v1 and you're going to use v2. Fine. So, and then we can print a data frame. So this is how the data frame is created. Now let's run this. Okay, it has to be a small c. It has to be the small c. So here you can see v1 is created, v2 is created, and df1 is created. If you want to check df1, another thing which you can use is view, where v has to be capital, view df1. So this is how the data frame can be viewed. Now if I want to just see a column of the data frame, that one of the column, then I say what the data frame name is df1. I have to use the dollar sign. Fine. Which column I want to see is v1. So v1 is having 1, 2, 3. The same way you can view the content of another column. Now say for example, initially I have created two columns. Now I want to create the third column and want to insert it. So what I can do is, already v1 we have this. Let's make v3 as third column, right? I just enter this here. Okay, then I want to make a new column. Fine, that should be what, that should be the ratio of the v2 slash v3. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll be adding this into the data frame. So make it df1 dollar sign. Okay, let's make it v4. It is how it is been. What will be the value here? That will be given by my new column which is just created. Okay, so this is how I am inserting it. Now if I say view and I say df1, I should get three columns, right? Earlier you have seen df1 was having two columns, v1 and v2. Now what I did is I took another vector, just took the ratio of it and inserted the final value into the data frame. So here we get the final data frame after inserting the new thing into it. Now let's create a new file and we'll be doing the inverse of the matrix. Fine. So first what we will do is we'll take a data, that is we have to take the content, the matrix. And this is my matrix. After that, what I want to do, I wanted to convert this into the matrix. So matrix A using this data. So whenever I want to convert it, the first is the keyword, that is matrix. What I'll be taking is the content of the vector A. I want equals to 3, and I have to arrange it row wise. So by row equals to true. See here, everything has to be capital. So now the matrix has been created, named as a matrix A. Now if I want to print it, it has to be print matrix A, right? Now let's execute it. So see, you have created a vector. That vector is later converted into a matrix, and now you are printing a matrix. Fine. Now if I want to get the inverse of it, it's a very simple. Here we have a function. See, we have an inverse of this matrix. We have an inbuilt function called as a solve, and it will convert it into a inverse of it. So we have to write matrix A, and then I have to print inverse of A, right? So let's execute last two lines. So this is how the inverse of the matrix can be calculated. Other than this, before we find out the matrix, there is a rule that the determinant of that matrix has to be not zero. So you can again check the determinant of your matrix. That can be checked using CDET. Here we assume that it is not a zero one, but if you want to check, then you can make matrix A and check it. So if I run this, I get the value of the determinant, that is 60. So this is how you can find the inverse of the matrices. So today we have seen all the different types of data structure which are used in the R, that is vector, list, array, and matrices. We have created a data frame as well using the different types, different vectors. And the last thing what we have seen is to find the inverse of the matrix. Thank you, everyone.